Hello, thank you for watching this video. Today, in What My Friend Knows, I would like to introduce you my friend Luc.
Hello.
Luc, will you introduce yourself to my friend?
Yes, my name is Luc. I'm from Belgium, French father, Dutch mother, so a European. I'm 65 years old and I've been in Vietnam for the last 6 years now. And I used to work in the IT industry, managing people in many different countries. And I've now been in Vietnam for, as I said, a number of years. I've had a good career, Jessica. I've had good mentors, good people who've helped me grow my career. And I think now is the time for me to give back to the community what I've learned. And that's what I'm doing in Vietnam.
Wow. I would like to know all the journey that you started from home and ended up in Ho Chi Minh City.
Oh, that's a long story.
Make it short.
I'll make it very, very short.
Yeah.
Basically, I come from a small village in Belgium. I was lucky enough to be able to go to university because nobody in my family has gone to university. I became a translator. I know several languages. I love languages. But I wanted more, so I took evening classes in computers and I got hired by IBM as a programmer.
Okay, that was the prejudice.
Yes, and my manager said you shouldn't be a programmer. After a few years, she said you should be a salesman. And I said, no, salespeople are liars. I'm not a liar. And then she said, well, if it doesn't work, you can go back to programming if you want. So I became a salesman and I was a good salesman. And she said, you see, you're very good at that. And after a few years, she said, you should be a manager. And I said, no, I'm a small boy. I'm never going to be a manager, never, never. And she said, well, if you don't like it, you can go back to sales. So I tried and apparently I became a good manager and I was sent by IBM to the US and then in Scotland and in different countries and became a director. And that was quite nice. And then I moved to Oracle, another large company, where I became director of a division for India, China, Greater China, Africa, the Middle East, and South America.
Wow, you must travel a lot.
That was, yes, about 100 countries, a little less, yeah.
Wow.
And then I decided when I was 59 years old that I had traveled enough and I wanted to settle in one country where I could be useful. And that was Vietnam.
Wow, and that's how I met you.
Exactly, that's how we met.
Well, tell my friend how we met.
Well, we met because I was hired by a common friend, Nidhi, to give training in emotional intelligence. That is one of the areas where I think I have a lot to give as well. So I'm a certified practitioner of emotional intelligence. And I was asked by Nidhi to follow a training with one of the best trained trainers in the world, and that is Jessica. So I ended up following the training that Jessica gave, and that's how we met. And we started talking about emotional intelligence and about walking. And every conversation we've had has been about walking the West Highland Way, walking the Camino de Santiago, walks in the world. Actually, the book under this little phone says 1001 walks.
Yes.
The ones you must experience before you die.
And
so
I would like
our
to show this. This is like our friendship symbol.
Yes.
This is a shell that represents Camino for Spanish Santiago's. I did 2 hikes.
It's a scallop shell, and in many languages, including French, it's called a Saint Jacob shell.
Yeah.
And the Camino goes to Santiago, which is in English Saint Jacob.
Yes.
So that's what it is. That's our symbol. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for your introduction. I would like to ask you to share one thing that you know very well and I don't know, and many of my friends probably don't know, and it's permaculture.
Yeah.
Permaculture.
Yes.
So can you explain in a simple and plain English what it is about?
I will tell you in 5 words.
Okay.
Okay. So it is permaculture. It comes from permanent culture or permanent agriculture. There's different schools of thought about it, but permaculture is a way to design your life for sustainability, or a way to design a sustainable life
Okay.
for you and for the community.
Okay.
It's very simple. Okay. Now, 2 words, 2 important words: design and sustainability. So,
Okay.
what is a design? A design is a set of principles, of ideas that can inspire you,
Okay.
that can motivate you,
And to make it last long.
and make it last long. Okay?
Okay.
So it is not a religion, it is not a culture, it is not a cult, it is not mandatory. It is a series of ideas. It's a design. And what is sustainability? Because it's also sometimes difficult to define sustainability. Sustainability is a system where the energy that is produced is higher than the energy you put in to create it, or to maintain it, or to run it. That is sustainability. So a system that gives you more than when you take out.
Okay. Okay.
If you start taking out and you end up with less and less, that
it's
is
not
not sustainable. So it's accounting. It's accounting. So you
It's
have,
accounting. I thought it's environmental.
yes, but if you want to really simplify it, it is a simple accounting. Debit,
Okay.
credit. If
Okay.
your credit is higher than your debit, you are sustainable. If your debit is higher than your credit, then you end up dying. The system will die.
And it applied to where we live, or the money we spend, or what
It
applied?
applies to everything
Oh.
we do in life, including to the earth. If you spend more
Okay.
money than what you earn, you will go bankrupt.
Yes.
What are we doing with the earth now? We are consuming what our earth produces or can produce faster than the earth can regenerate.
The climate
Yes,
crisis.
it's not just climate, it's also food. If everybody wants to live the life of the United States citizens, we need 5 Earths.
Wow.
We need 5 planets Earth.
Okay.
And that is not possible.
No.
So we are in a situation that is not sustainable because we are taking away what 5 Earths can produce, and we take it from just one country, from the United States.
Wow.
So
Okay.
that is sustainability. It's accounting. We need to produce more than what we consume.
And then what do we do? How what it is about? Tell me more. Practical.
Okay. And that's what permaculture does.
Okay.
So permaculture has 3 ethical principles.
Okay.
One is take care of the earth. And
Love our Mother Earth.
exactly.
Yes.
Take care of the people. Take care of your community. And fair share. The earth does not belong to one community or one country. It's really a worldwide way of doing it. Now, it can all be applied to one person, or to one country,
Yes.
one community, or the entire planet. Permaculture is about inspiration. It's not really a rules-based system. Okay? 3 ethical principles, and then 12 design principles.
Okay.
Now, some people will tell you there are 24, some people 15. It doesn't really matter.
It sounds complicated.
Yes, it sounds, but it's not.
Okay.
It's actually all designs, ideas, and inspirations that people have. Okay? And you can have more than 24. You can maybe find 25, 26, 27, but it's all based on nature. The first principle is observe nature and follow what nature teaches you. So I'll ask you a question.
Yes.
we'll play a little quiz.
Okay.
So, if you look at a jungle, a forest, a tropical forest,
Yes.
but maybe not tropical, any forest, but let's
Okay.
take the jungle. We're here in Vietnam, it's tropical forest.
Okay.
The forest actually grows a lot of bushes, a lot of trees, and feeds a lot of insects and birds and animals and mammals
Yes.
and monkeys and
Yes.
do you know there is no gardener who comes every week to put fertilizer?
Okay, forest gardening.
There is,
That's a God's job.
there is no gardener. There is nobody who comes in to put fertilizer.
Ah, okay. Because there's an ecosystem.
Yes, exactly. So what does the forest do? The forest, all the forests, take the energy from the sun
Yes, and water.
and from the water, and they transform it in sugar, and the sugar makes them grow leaves, and the leaves will fall down, and they will become humus
Yes.
for the soil. But they also produce food for the animals, and the animals produce what? They pee and they
Yes,
poo,
right.
and that becomes
they
fertilizer,
die,
and
and
they
they-
die, and they get consumed by mushrooms and by bacteria
Right,
in
yeah.
the soil,
The food
etc.
chain.
Yes. So we have
Nature
a
circle.
sustainable system that is producing more energy than it consumes. It can feed humans. I mean, if you look at many people, many tribes in the Amazon or in other countries, they live from the forest,
Yes.
but they also give back to the forest. Okay, so
Yes.
we are breaking at the moment this balance.
Right.
So let's learn from
The nature. Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you a few examples because we're already at 12 minutes. I'll give you a few examples. One example is produce no waste. Okay, and I think we know this.
Yes.
Any waste in nature does not exist. Waste is always food for another being.
Should be.
For bacteria,
Yeah.
for insects, for mammals, whatever. We should be doing the same. Anything we produce as waste should be able to flow back into the system.
So in this principle, no plastic, no chemicals,
Nothing.
nothing,
Yeah.
artificially made by man.
Except if you can reuse it in a sustainable way.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Cycle,
You can use
recycle.
wood to build a house, but then at the same time you build a new tree, so that by the time your house is rotten, you have a
And you
new
got
tree.
a new tree. Ah,
Exactly.
interesting.
Okay. So
Okay,
that's
so that's the principle.
That's another principle called reuse sustainably.
Okay.
If you use something and it is destroyed by you, you must have grown something in the same time or shorter than when you can have a replacement. Another
Wow.
thing, very interesting, the edge of a system produces more than a system. Example, in nature, the edge,
The age.
the limit.
Okay,
the
the
limit.
limit.
So, if you look at a river flows to the ocean,
Yes.
and you have areas where the river goes into the ocean, and that's where you have the biggest amount of fish, underwater plants.
Right.
You have
Like Mekong Delta.
exactly. I was going to say it.
Yeah.
Or a mangrove.
Yeah, mangrove.
That's where the small little fish can hide before they go to the sea or before they go to the river.
Right.
So, in life, it's the same. If we have communities of people who are diverse, who are different, it brings more creativity. It brings more ideas. It is more productive than when you have a simple group of people who all think in the same
And
way.
then they stack and die.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, this
So
is a
that is-
philosophy.
It is a philosophy, yes.
Diverse.
Another one, apply self-regulation and feedback. If you plant apple trees or like here mango trees in wet lands,
Yes.
they will not like it and they will die. They will tell you, I don't like to have wet feet. Fruit trees in general, not all of them, some coconut trees, for example, not, but some trees will actually not produce fruit, if they have their roots in wet land. And they will show you no food, no fruit. And then you will have to learn and get the feedback, hey, this is not the right place for them.
So it's like agricultural knowledge
Yes.
to learn, try, test, and learn.
Exactly. Yes. Find solutions. Nature is telling you this is not the right thing to do.
Interesting.
I can give you other ones. There's plenty, as I said, 24. Have redundancy in your life. Have backup plans all the time. A flower. How many seeds does a flower have? Hundreds.
Many.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Some
and
of
fish
them
has
millions.
lots of fish roe.
And why? Because many will be lost and will never produce. But there's hundreds of backup solutions. Let's learn from that. Okay. Use multiple functions. A chicken. A chicken is good for eggs, but it's also good to eat the insects.
Oh, okay.
So a pest for one plant can be food for the chicken. Okay. You can also, with the chicken, let them scratch an earth full of weeds.
Okay.
And they will do
Multifunction.
and they will poo and pee on the soil and they will fertilize the soil. This is what we should be doing as well, looking at what can feed what in terms of design processes. And I could go on and on and on.
Okay.
There's 12 to 24 principles.
Okay.
Which you look at nature and you say, wow, this is interesting. I can do that in my life too.
Okay, so study permaculture is you can learn from nature and getting all this, and we can input to our industry, our life,
Our agriculture, our
construction.
construction, our community building. This is all, and there's entire books written about it. There's wonderful websites. I can give you a few, but I can tell
I
you
will put that
it is
in
extremely, we will put
comments.
it below in the comments of this YouTube, and you will see it's absolutely fascinating. It is something where I discover new things every day.
Wow.
And it's not a religion, okay?
It's
not.
It's a philosophy,
It's a
lifestyle.
philosophy. It's a lifestyle. It's a design
And it's
process.
a wise, I think, intelligence from the nature.
Exactly.
Wow. So last question. So far, what you learned from permaculture, what shaped your life?
Okay, so I am becoming, and also because of the COVID situation, I've had time to
We're
think.
stuck here.
Yes, and I've been not stuck. I've taken advantage of it to learn. So I've learned a lot more about nature. I've learned about horticulture and insects and botanical principles, and I'm learning a lot about diversity and about, you know, I was probably a little too stuck in my ideas. You know, birds of a feather stick together.
Okay.
And I've learned that diversity with other people who think differently than you is very good. So I'm becoming a little bit more tolerant in my discussion with friends or things like that. So that is a lifestyle I'm trying to change. But basically, it's mostly my learning that I'm still growing in that learning. But what shapes me really is I want to go back to nature. I want it to continue.
Do more work.
Yes, exactly. And learn more from nature. Exactly.
Wow, thank you very much. And I learned from you, from permaculture, that I'm learning from all my friends, what my friends knows. Thank you for watching it.
Thank you, Jessica.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.